Welcome to Orlando, Florida, and welcome to Wednesday Night Evolve, the second ever episode of Evolve, and we're going to go ahead and open up with some women's action here in the first match of the night. Up first, we have Layla Diggs. This is going to be a very crucial match for Layla Diggs and her opponents because, as we know in the premiere episode of Evolve here on the channel, the current WWE Evolve Women's Champion, Callie Armstrong, was successful in defending her championship against Natalya. And now that that's over, our champion is eagerly waiting to see who her next opponent could be. And tonight with this match, we wouldn't necessarily crown who the next person to face Callie Armstrong would be, but it would surely give us a slight hint. You know, if, for example, Layla Diggs is able to get the victory here tonight, she can slowly start gaining some momentum. She can start staying consistent, and eventually that championship match could come. So, a very crucial match for both superstars. However, it won't be an easy task for Layla Diggs as her opponent, representing and accompanied by the Vanity Project, none other than the real deal Zeta Steel. She is accompanied by the WWE Evolve Champion Jackson Drake, as well as Swipe Right in Ricky Smokes and Brad Baylor, the real deal Zeta Steel, out here in the opening match. And as much as I hate to say, because these guys are kind of cheating scumbags, well, the Vanity Project are the talk of the town here on Evolve. They are the main event. They are, you know, the people to beat, the team to beat. They are currently at the top, and Zeta Steel not only wants to prove the haters wrong, but here tonight she's going to want to prove her and the Vanity Project right when they say that they are the main event. Talking about main event, we will see those three boys in the main event tonight as they face off against the LWO, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, and Lince Dorado. That's later to come in our main event. As for now, we begin this match. Now, Zeta Steel technically does have the numbers advantage, having Jackson Drake, Ricky Smokes, and Brad Baylor. I'm hoping these gentlemen, never mind, I was about to say, I'm hoping these gentlemen have a little bit of class and don't get involved in a women's match. But nice and early, Brad Baylor distracting Layla Diggs, allowing Zeta Steel to be able to get back on the attack. They are quickly setting the tone onto what they're willing to do in order for the Vanity Project to win, to thrive, and to dominate, and that includes getting involved in women's matches. You know, we do kind of see a lot with the luchadors, the Mexicans. That sounds super racist, but you know, the Mexican luchadors, part of Lucha Libre, they have a little bit of a different style. They do not mind attacking female superstars. I guess everyone has their own way of doing things. It seems like the Vanity Project does not mind talking some smack to Layla Diggs in order to make sure that Zeta Steel is able to stay on the attack, building momentum. A big night for Vanity Project is once more in the main event. It will be Jackson Drake, Ricky Smokes, Brad Baylor, the Vanity Project facing off against the LWO and Lince Dorado, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde. More to come tonight. We have none other than main roster superstar Apollo Crews facing off against Heritage Champion Luca Crusifino, as the NXT Heritage Championship will be on the line later tonight as Luca Crusifino, faces off against Apollo Crews. Big damage done right there by Layla Diggs as she's going to look for the pinfall. Whoa, not even one. Zeta Steel able to kick out there. Very well done from Zeta Steel to not give her opponent the satisfaction of even hearing that 1 count. Layla Dig, though, however, gonna continue to attack onto Zeta Steel. And right now would be a very good time for the Vanity Project to start. Whoa, slow down. Right now would be a very good time for the Vanity Project to start talking some smack, start playing some mind games, because Zeta Steel is not in the match at the moment. It is all Layla Diggs. Zeta Steel trying to get in it. However, a big kick from Layla Diggs. Zeta Steel rolling outside of the ring quickly just to catch her breath. Quickly sent into the turnbuckle, dropping down as Layla Diggs' attack continues. Zeta Steel looking for the boots, not able to hit it the first time. However, the second time is able to make some contact, and now Zeta Steel able to switch the tide into her momentum, into her favor now. Looking to do some big damage onto Layla Diggs. Can't she look for the pinfall there? No, as the referee was too busy fixing that turnbuckle either way. Zeta Steel now was looking for a finisher. Layla Diggs moving out of the way very smartly. Now looking to escape that hold from Zeta Steel. Looking to do some damage. Now may be able to put this match away as she's going to look for the pinfall. Is this enough to put Zeta Steel away? 2. But a kick out at 2 from Zeta Steel. And now Zeta able to counter that hold. Looking for a big hit. However, Layla Diggs, very fast reaction instead. Maybe not fast enough. Never mind, as Zeta Steel able to get on the attack. Big kick to the face of Layla Diggs. And now Zeta Steel is back on the attack. I would say that Layla Diggs has had that slight advantage and that slight, more control than Zeta Steel, but it also has been very close to a 50-50 match. Both women getting, their respective amount of time of being in control, giving us a fantastic opening match here on Wednesday Night Evolve as Layla Diggs rolls outside of the ring. Zeta Steel does not want to allow her to even catch her breath, looking to do some damage instead, though. It is Layla Diggs who sends Zeta Steel back inside of the ring. Now Layla Diggs looking to climb the top rope, looking to fly. However, Zeta Steel too fast. Turnbuckle is removed by Ricky Smokes as the referee now is gonna look to fix the padding off the turnbuckle. Thank goodness he saw that quickly. However, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my days, Zeta Steel could have won the match right there if it wasn't for her Vanity Project teammates, as she now looks for the pinfall once more. This time Layla Diggs able to kick out, but Zeta Steel had the match won. She had gotten that 3 count, but no, due to the distraction of the turnbuckle, this match continues. Maybe not for long. She's already got the 3 count once. Now can she get it officially? Yes, she can. Zeta Steel able to get the victory here tonight against Layla Diggs. Congratulations to her and the Vanity Project for the big victory. Vanity Project almost costing her the victory, but in the end, Zeta Steel did just enough in order to shut down Layla Diggs and get the victory. Here in the opening match, we will see those 3 men in our main event later tonight. Talking about the main event, we will also see Lince Dorado, but for now, he's out here. He wants to talk. Let's go ahead and hear him out. Look, I know I failed to become the new WWE Evolve champion, but just know, Jackson Drake, that I am not finished. I will win in the main event tonight. I will become the #1 contender, and I will take that championship off of you. And some big words from Lince Dorado, calling out the current WWE Evolve champion, Jackson Drake, letting him know that just because he beat Lince Dorado once does not mean that will happen again. Lince Dorado still has his eyes on the prize. He still has his eyes on that WWE Evolve Championship, and he will be coming after it and after Jackson Drake. But we got to keep moving forward, as next up we have some tag team action. Up first, we have Tyreek and his boy, known as TNT. They are looking to bring the dynamite, to bring the explosives, to bring that heat onto the tag team division here on Evolve, which is already looking out to be incredible. As we saw in the previous episode, we were able to crown the inaugural WWE Evolve Tag Team Champions, and many thought that the Vanity Project would hold those titles too, but instead, it was a Cartwheel Cafe, Cappuccino Jones, and Jack Cartwheel who were able to pull off a fantastic upset in order to become the new and the inaugural WWE Evolve Tag Team Champions. And now, tag teams from NXT, from AAA, from... I almost said a different company, excuse me, from TNA, even from the main roster, want to come down here and want a piece of Evolve. As we have TNT facing off against Chase U, Doug Hudson, and his mentor. Who's going to come out on top here tonight in our second match? Some tag team action. And in the same way that we had said about Layla Diggs, whoever wins that match, which it was Zeta Steel, can slowly start building some momentum to eventually look at that title. Same goes for these tag team matches. The winner can surely see a title match in their near future. But for now, they got to focus on one thing at a time. They got to focus on one match at a time. A quick reminder about matches later tonight. Apollo Crews, over from the main event scene, from the main roster, has come down from Evolve. He is going to go ahead and face off against NXT Heritage Champion Luca Cruzafino for the NXT Heritage Championship. And there is Andre Chase. Zia looks to get a victory here on Evolve. Also in our main events, we have the LWO Lince Dorado, Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro, facing off against the Vanity Project, Jackson Drake, Brad Baylor, and Ricky Smokes. That's just a small spoiler of what is to come later tonight. But for now, we focus on this tag team action. It is Chase U, Chase University, off against TNT. They both are going to eventually want to go for those titles. And what a way to start that journey towards the tag team titles here on Evolve than by getting a victory here tonight, as it is going to be Duke Hudson and Tyson who get this match started off for us. Tyson looking to attack Andre Chase, even though he isn't the legal superstar, looking to attack both members of Chase U in this tag team match, making sure none of them, and my apologies, some technical difficulties right there, but just making sure that none of them are able to do anything in this match. This is a very important match, as, I mean, we are only just seeing the beginning of Evolve here on the channel, and there's only a couple championships here on Evolve, so fighting for those titles, winning these matches are very crucial if you want to be champion, whether that's tag team champion, NXT Heritage champion, or Evolve champion. No matter what championship you're aiming for, every win down here really matters more than ever, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, up in Raw, up in SmackDown, it matters, but once you're up there, it's easier to recover, to get back, to, take some time off. Hold on, pinfall, 1. Kick out at 1. It's easier to just, take the L, but keep going. Down here, you have nothing guaranteed. You have nothing promised. I don't mean this in a bad way, but this is the bottom of the pyramid. This is where WWE superstars begin. Here in NXT, this is where you build yourself up. And if you want to make it to the main roster, then you got to win all your matches here. You got to become a champion here, and that's why becoming a champion and winning these matches are so crucial. So, a tag team like this, when we barely crowned new tag team champions who are surely going to be looking for opponents, it is crucial that whichever team comes out on top, it is crucial that they keep this momentum in order to eventually go for those tag team titles. As at the moment, it is TNT. Tyson and Tyreek absolutely destroying Chase U. Duke Hudson and Andre Chase are not able to do much so far in this match, as Tyson, big strong man, showing Duke Hudson exactly what he's made out of. However, Duke Hudson trying to look for the counter, slamming Tyson down, now looking for the pinfall of his own. 1. Very quick kick out by Tyson. As this match continues, Tyson, as big and strong as he is, we look at the size comparison, Duke Hudson is a tall freaking man. He has muscle. I don't know if more than Tyson, but this man is still huge. I'm not sure his exact height, but he is one lengthy man, and that's giving him the advantage right now as he slams down a huge powerbomb onto Tyson, who is somehow able to counter a big uppercut onto Duke, as now Duke was potentially looking to make the tag to his teammates Andre Chase, not successful in doing so. Instead, it is Tyson who's gonna make, isn't successful either. Duke Hudson able to counter, not for long, as very quickly Tyson able to make the counter of his own. Just when we thought Duke Hudson could be back in control, it might be Tyson to put this match away. No! Andre Chase able to break the count at 2 and allows his team to still be in this match. Maybe not for long, as Tyson is doing some very big damage onto Andre Chase. However, distracted. Now Duke may be able to do some damage onto Tyson, and he does so. Tyson, can he make the tag? No, he can't. He was right there. He simply could not get up and reach over for Tyreek, and this could be bad now. As much damage as he just took, Tyson is still in control, and he shows it once again, able to counter, now making the tag to Tyreek, who is now the legal superstar, and attacking Andre Chase. Duke Hudson is all alone. He has no one to break the count. Is Tyreek gonna look for the pinfall? Not yet, as Duke Hudson gets up. Big damage being done by Tyreek as he looks to put an end to this big stunner. Is this enough to win the match? 1, 2, 3. There it is. TNT. Tyreek and Tyson have beat Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. Chase U, they have beat them here tonight. They could be looking at potentially being the first challengers for the WWE Evolve Tag Team Championship. Congratulations to TNT, Tyson, and Tyreek on that spectacular victory. Up next, we have another incredible match. Evolve has bangers after bangers after bangers. And this match is exactly that. Now, I'm not sure if you guys watched the other shows, but I've been giving hints of this match right here for quite some time. And here it is, main roster, Apollo Crews looks to become NXT Heritage Champion here tonight as he faces off against the current champion, Luca Crucifino. A big match feel because it is a big match. Luca Crucifino up against Apollo Crews. What a big challenge this is going to be for Luca Crucifino. What a big test that is in front of him. If he's able to come out on top here tonight, then that just shows the level that Luca Crucifino carries, the weight that the NXT Heritage Championship carries. And it shows what the future of WWE holds. Luca Crucifino with a big task at hand here tonight as he faces off against Apollo Crews coming down from the main roster. Everybody wants a taste of Evolve. Everyone wants a taste of these titles. And Apollo Crews could become the new NXT Heritage Champion. I mean, imagine seeing that the NXT Heritage Championship being defended on the likes of SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and Evolve. I mean, the possibilities if Apollo Crews is able to become champion here tonight for that title, absolutely phenomenal. However, it will definitely not be no easy task. The moment this man won this championship off of Noam Dar, he has been on fire. He has only taken one loss. That was in a tag team match alongside Channing Stacks Lorenzo. But when it comes to singles action, when it comes to defending that championship, he is unbeatable. You could say he is invincible, as he was also able to take down Tommy Invincible for that NXT Heritage Championship, defending that title very well against him. We'll see how this match goes. NXT Heritage Championship on the line. The challenger coming down from the main roster, Apollo Crews, looking to add another title to his resume. This time the NXT Heritage Championship. And his opponent, the challenger, representing the family, coming down from NXT. He is the NXT Heritage Champion, Luca Crucifino, looking to defend his championship here tonight. Big challenge ahead of him. Can he beat the likes of Apollo Crews here tonight? This is bound to be a fantastic match, and we still have the main event ahead of us. 6-man tag team match. It will be the Vanity Project facing off against the LWO. But first, we have this match ahead of us. The NXT Heritage Championship is on the line. Luca Crucifino ready to defend it. Apollo Crews wants to become the new champion. And he shows it as quickly. A flying clothesline, dropping Luca Crucifino. Big hits and nay. There it is. Very early on, we have some back and forth action. Apollo Crews is here on Evolve and wants to become champion. What is Luca Crucifino gonna do about it? Maybe not much, as Luca Crucifino may be put away nice and early. No, a kick out at one very quickly by Luca Crucifino. Very good on his end, not giving Apollo Crews' satisfaction of hearing that 2 count, and obviously the 3 count, as Apollo Crews is very confident so far in this match. You can easily see that confidence just by the way he moves, by the way he's fighting, by the way he is literally dominating over Luca Crucifino, looking for the pinfall once more. Luca once more as well, able to kick out now. Luca Crucifino looking to show Apollo Crews some of what he has to offer. Big damage done right there by Luca Crucifino. And I mean, I can't judge Apollo Crews on him being a little confident, a little cocky. You come from the main roster. You know, you could say I'm closer to Roman Reigns and all these other great superstars than you are to me. But maybe not, because look at Luca Crucifino. I believe he has just busted open the head of Apollo Crews. And he may have just ignited a fire in Apollo Crews, excuse me. He may have just made Apollo Crews mad. This could be bad for Luca Crucifino, as Apollo Crews is back on the attack. That head is definitely bleeding. Looking for the pinfall. One. Once again, for a third consecutive time, Luca Crucifino is able to kick out at one. However, Apollo Crews is not finished as he looks to drop Luca Crucifino on the turnbuckle. Not successful in doing so. Instead, he is countered by Luca Crucifino, who now looks to damage the arm of Apollo Crews. I mean, that's the way you gotta do it. One piece of the body at a time. Luca Crucifino with the pinfall in two. That's a little surprising. 3 times Luca Crucifino has kicked out at once, and the first time that he looks for the pinfall, slipping there. Apollo Crews doesn't kick out till 2. Is he playing my games with the Luca Crucifino, making him think he got a chance, but really doesn't? Is Apollo Crews trying to catch his breath, or is Luca Crucifino truly taking Apollo Crews to his limits, as Apollo Crews absolutely flying? What a banger match this has been. Apollo Crews, a bleeding Apollo Crews, wants to punish. He wants to demolish Luca Crucifino and become the new NXT Heritage Champion, as Apollo Crews is countered. However, reverse DDT. Luca Crucifino wants to keep that championship, and it looks like he's going to do whatever it takes in order to do so. As Apollo Crews quickly resets the count, he has to beat Luca Crucifino by pinfall or submission inside of the ring if he wants to become the new champion. He can easily win the match by countout, but if he wants to leave here with that NXT Heritage Championship, then he must win by pinfall or submission. Luca Crucifino sends Apollo Crews back inside of the ring. Misses on that hit. Apollo Crews also misses. Second time is the charm for Apollo Crews. Oh, suplex. But he isn't done there, as Apollo Crews looks for another 2. And it's gonna be the third suplex onto Luca Crucifino, who may be out. Is this it? 1, 2, and no! Luca Crucifino somehow, some way, is still in this. Somehow, he has just kicked out of not 1, not 2, but 3 suplexes from Apollo Crews. And not only has he kicked out, not only is he still in this match, he is now back on top with momentum. Big hit to Apollo Crews. Luca Crucifino is back in this. He wants to put an end to this match. He wants to retain his NXT Heritage Championship. This may be it. Luca Crucifino has just gotten a second win right here. A second life. He's like a cat. You keep breaking him down, but he keeps coming back to life, and now he may be able to put Apollo Crews away. Is this enough? Huge leg drop as Apollo Crews may be out. 1, 2, no! Apollo Crews is also still in this. He is able to kick out, maybe not anymore, as Luca Crucifino is not done. Counter. Apollo Crews is still in this. And now a big slam by Apollo Crews. Just when we thought he was out. 1, 2, but no! Another kick out by Luca Crucifino. How has he done this? How has Apollo Crews countered? These men are giving us a main event of WrestleMania match And it may be over. It's Luca Crusafino. There it is. 3 counts. What a match between Luca Crusafino and Apollo Crews. And in the end, and still, Luca Crusafino is still the NXT Heritage Champion. And what a victory to have under his belt, being able to beat Apollo Crews from the main roster in order to defend that championship. What a match. And look who it is, Cappuccino Jones, one half of the new WWE Evolve Tag Team Champions. He has something to say. Let's go ahead and hear him out. We'll make this short and simple. I, alongside Jack Cartwheel, are the new WWE Evolve Tag Team Champions, and we want to be defending champions. So whoever wants some, come get some. We'll be ready for whoever, wherever, whenever. And some big confidence from Cappuccino Jones announcing to any tag team, including the Vanity Project. I'm just saying, watch out. That Vanity Project is scary, and they are in the main event. Cappuccino Jones letting them know, you want some, we're right here. We are not turning down from a fight. We are ready to face off against whoever, wherever, anywhere, anything, any matters. Cappuccino Jones showing some great confidence as he's ready to defend the WWE Evolve Tag Team Championships alongside Jack Cartwheel. That looks good. I mean, you become the new champion, and rather than hiding, rather than doing all these shenanigans like a good amount of wrestlers do, simply said, yo, come and get me. I like that, and I can't wait to see which tag team is up first in line to challenge for those WWE Evolve Tag Team Championships. But anyhow, we have some women's action up next. Introducing first the slightly scary, and I only say slightly because I'm used to seeing Nikki Cross in the Wyatt 6 over on SmackDown, so Wendy Chu compared to them is like a teddy bear. So only slightly scary Wendy Chu. She's one of the top female superstars here on Evolve. She had the chance to become the inaugural WWE Evolve Women's Champion. However, Callie Armstrong was just too powerful, too strong, and too ready to become champion. So now Wendy Chu is left with no option but to make her path back onto that championship. I'm starting a little bit because look who we have here. Some more superstars from the main roster. Wendy Chu's opponent, Kiana James, and this would be a statement victory and would surely skyrocket Wendy Chu, as I'ma say it, as the #1 contender to Callie Armstrong's WWE Evolve Women's Championship. However, we gotta know, we saw what Apollo Crews did to Luca Crusafino. Yes, he lost, but that main roster experience, that main roster IQ took Luca Crusafino to his limits, almost lost his championship. So we know Kiana James is a big threat in this match. If she wins, she surely as well can be up there in the top 3, top 5 of contenders for Callie Armstrong. I'm only saying top 5 simply because Wendy Chu, I don't think she's at #1 right now. So if you beat Wendy Chu, maybe you take the 3, the 4 spot. On the other hand, Wendy Chu beating a main roster, that bumps you up. That jumps you to #1. And like I said before, all these matches are super crucial down here at Evolve, at NXT. Every little win matters. You don't want to get released. You don't want to be skipped in line and have someone else get called up to the main roster. You want to get these victories. You want to be able to show the main roster, their GMs, exactly what you have to prove. And that is the same case here for Wendy Choo. She wants to get that victory here tonight. Kiana James, on the other hand, like I said, the main roster superstars don't have as much to lose. Sure, you can lose this match, but you can go back up to the main roster. You're chilling with the likes of Seth Rollins and whoever else. It's a little bit of a safer crashing. You mess up, you slip, it feels a little bit more alright. At least from my perspective. However, Wendy Choo may be able to shock the world and get the victory. Kick out at 2 by Kiana James. Well, anyhow, we'll see who comes out on top. Whether it's going to be Wendy Choo with a big victory or Kiana James showing up with her main roster level as another pinfall, this time a kick out at 1 by Kiana James as this match continues. But what also continues is the attack from Wendy Choo, who is currently in control. Kiana James not able to do anything at the moment. Wendy Choo in full control, and this is exactly what she needs. She needs to take full advantage of this control, and she needs to try to get that 3 count as fast as possible before Kiana James gets a second win and shows Wendy Choo exactly what's up. Wendy Choo missing that splash. Kiana James able to move out of the way just in time. However, not able to do much as Wendy Choo quickly countering back, and she is back on the attack. Wendy Choo maybe looking for the finish there, not able to do so. It's Kiana James slightly countering, not for long. Wendy Choo still in this. Wendy Choo may look to put a finish to this match. Is this gonna be? No. Kiana James quickly able to counter right there. Wendy Choo tried it. She tried to go for the signature move and puts Kiana James to sleep and win the match. However, Kiana James very smartly able to counter. And now Kiana James may be able to get on the attack. Maybe not. Wendy Choo is on fire at the moment. I don't think Kiana James expected this much fire to come from Wendy Choo. But it is too late to try to prepare for that now, because Wendy Choo is absolutely destroying Kiana James. And now may be able to put an end to this match. Is Kiana James gonna be out as Wendy Choo is gonna look for the sleeper? Can Wendy Choo beat a main roster superstar in Kiana James? Can Wendy Choo do it? Yes! There is the tap. Kiana James is tapped out. And Wendy Choo is your winner by submission. What a huge victory. And like I said, this surely skyrockets her as the #1 contender to Callie Armstrong's WWE Evolve Women's Championship. That's what I expect. But we'll have to see in the following weeks what unfolds with Wendy Choo, with Callie Armstrong, with that championship. Maybe another women's superstar will rise up to the occasion. But for now, it is congratulations to Wendy Choo for being able to get that huge victory here tonight against the main roster, Kiana James. But up now, we have our main event of the night. Introducing first, not sure if he's fully part of the LWO, just saying, but representing the LWO Lucha Party is here, Lince Bravo, looking to get a victory here in the main event. Surely, if he gets the victory, he can get a rematch for that Evolve Men's Championship. But it is going to be a very hard match against the Vanity Project here tonight. Lince Bravo here inside of the ring, ready for the main event here tonight on Evolve. Introducing next his teammates representing the LWO, coming over from the main roster at the moment. The main roster here tonight is 0-2 in matches. Can the LWO, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde change that up? Will Evolve be able to go 0-3 with the main roster superstars? We'll have to see, as the teammates of Lince Dorado here tonight, also representing the LWO, coming down from the main roster, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. These three men will face off against the Vanity Project here in our main event tonight. They have been having problems for a while. Kind of just started with Lince Dorado and Jackson Drake, but obviously the Vanity Project having the numbers game. Well, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro had to get involved and help out Lince Dorado. And that is where we continue the story. As I would like to say, this should be the final match in this saga between the LWO and the Vanity Project. Whoever wins the war. There has been wins for LWO. There has been wins for the Vanity Project, and this is like Game 7 to me. You know? Vanity Project wins, they put away LWO, they put away Lince Dorado and any shots at the Evolve Championship. On the other hand, LWO wins. Well, Vanity Project may not be the biggest dog here on Evolve any longer, and Lince Dorado sure deserves a title shot, but we'll see who comes out on top as Jackson Drake, Brad Baylor, and Ricky Smokes, the Vanity Project, are inside of the ring, and this match has begun. The main event of the night. The Vanity Project once again, Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes, and Jackson Drake, the WWE Evolve Champion, facing off against the LWO, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, and Lince Dorado. As the match has begun, it is Brad Baylor and Lince Dorado who get this match started off for us. Things not looking too hot for Lince Dorado as the tag has been made, and Ricky Smokes is now the legal man looking to do some more damage onto Lince Dorado. And Jackson Drake and Brad Baylor look to attack Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. I think their strategy is to basically disable the LWO by only allowing one man to be the legal superstar. Well, on the outside, they can't do anything because they are too busy defending themselves. And this could be bad for Lince Dorado, not being able to rely on those main roster superstars like Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, as Lince Dorado is sent out flying. Look at this. This is a full-out war. And at the moment, it is the Vanity Project who are on top as Ricky Smokes removing the padding off the turnbuckle. The referee's count gets to 4. Lince Dorado slowly getting up now. Still having to defend himself from Brad Baylor. And things are not looking good. The LWO were not expecting this. They have already taken a lot of damage. This has given the advantage to the Vanity Project. However, Lince Dorado is trying to fight his way back into this match. Maybe not for long, as Ricky Smokes able to counter. Lince Dorado is looking for the tag, quickly interrupted by Ricky Smokes. Not able to get that tag there. Lince Dorado is sent into the unpadded turnbuckle, taking some big damage to the face, to the throat right there, and the referee decides to finally, fix the padding on the turnbuckle. About time. Things are looking bad for the LWO. What a beautiful strategy from the Vanity Project to attack Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro outside of the ring. Do not let them become the legal superstars and just tear down on Lince Dorado, who, I I thought he was going to look for a weapon. Scared me a little bit. He could have gotten disqualified right there. Luckily for him, he didn't. However, too much hesitation, too much time waiting. And he was countered for just a second there as Lince Dorado, no matter how much damage he has taken, no matter how long he has been inside of this ring without being able to tag any of his teammates, is somehow still fighting back. Not for long as a more fresh Vanity Project, as a more fresh Ricky Smokes continues to do damage and continues to counter the attacks of Lince Dorado. As Ricky Smokes now looking to put an end to this. No, Lince Dorado is able to counter right there. Very good on him. The match could have been finished right there if he wasn't able to pull off the counter. Lince Dorado is countered himself though. However, this may be over. Excuse me, with the stunner too. Ricky Smokes able to kick out just when we thought Lince Dorado was out. He's able to make the tag and Cruz del Toro is in. However, this would have been great maybe 2-3 minutes ago. Cruz del Toro has already taken a big amount of damage due to the fighting, due to the war outside of the ring. So as crucial as that tag was, I don't know how much this will affect the match because Cruz del Toro is not fresh. He's simply fresher compared to Lince Dorado, which could be the final blow in order for the Vanity Project to be able to win this match. They have had a beautiful strategy in order to use their numbers game to advantage. Even though it's 3-on-3, it feels as though the Vanity Project have more numbers, and this could be it. Oh, Joaquin Wilde saving the LWO. Cruz del Toro lights out though as he's still not up. Finally, he's slowly getting up. Ricky Smokes though still hasn't taken much damage. He was able to beat down Lince Dorado, able to knock out Cruz del Toro, still inside of the ring, and still hasn't made the tag to Jackson Drake or Brad Baylor as the referee's count now reaches 3. Can the Vanity Project potentially win by counts outs? That may be off the table as Cruz del Toro is countered, but he is inside of the ring. The count has been reset, and now all members back to the ropes. Okay, maybe not for long as Jackson Drake looks to go back and fight with Joaquin Wilde. Brad Baylor decides he's going to follow and attack Lince Dorado no matter who is the legal superstar. The Vanity Project are keeping this similar technique, this similar tactic of attacking on the outside. So when they go in, they can't do nothing, and that is it. Ricky Smokes has just pinned a main event superstar. The LWO has been put away. V's up because the Vanity Project stands tall here in our main event. Main roster superstars 0-3. The Vanity Project on top. Congratulations. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you all on Friday night SmackDown. And then this weekend, 2-night event of SummerSlam. Thank you.